Hello everyone, my name is Young Falcon, and I'm here to talk to you guys about some My Hero Academia, continuing with the second day of the MHA Marathon. Today we're going to be talking about Bakugo and why he's my favorite character. You're probably asking what's with all the gameplay in the background. Unfortunately, I can't really show clips of the anime and stuff because my channel will get copyright claimed. I don't have like those big IGN or even like Anime Lab or whatever types of channels like that. I don't got that clout yet, essentially, and they will copyright claim my channel to death, and you guys won't be able to see the video because it'll be blocked. Kind of like the Ruby video. I wanted up like a season 2 part of the Weiss's Salt, but I literally can't because it's just getting blocked constantly. So you kind of get the gist. Sorry for that quick little interjection. This video is going to be a bit unscripted because it's just Bakugo's my favorite character, and I literally couldn't like bring myself to do it. I wrote like a whole script. I went in, I did what I could do, but I just couldn't because I kept missing stuff, and I just figured it's just best to talk straight from the heart, you know. So enjoy some gameplay in the background, some pictures and stuff like that, showing off what exactly I'm talking about. I will be talking slight manga spoilers, so if that concerns you or whatever, please watch out. It's very slight. Only reason I'm saying slight is because the episode comes out Saturday, but chances are by the time you watch the video, you either seen the episode or you haven't yet. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm saying, just throwing it out there. It's just a quick manga spoiler. I'm not sure how far the episode will go with the interjections between two characters, but yeah, slight manga spoilers. But that all being said, the episodes I will be referring to is episode 37 of the anime, all 4 episodes of Izuku's origin, like how he gets his powers and stuff, and the manga chapters that follow after the most recent episode we're getting this week. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. So Bakugo is my favorite character in MHA. He started off as like my least favorite. My favorite was Deku at first. I mean, Deku's really cool. I really liked his dynamic and like just how he wanted to become a hero. It felt like a shonen hero, but not tropey, if that makes sense. Like there was something about his character, the effort and actual work we see him put in, and it doesn't feel like he just earned it or gained it, I should say. It doesn't feel like it was just gained and he has to work towards it and earn it. Instead, it's like he works very hard for this power. Now you could say the same for like Goku and characters like that, but I don't really know. It just feels like they always had that power. I mean, like Goku held back like Raditz or whatever in the first first episode of DBZ. My man is already a beast. He turned into a beast like the first OG DB stuff. Like he's always had powers, just he had to like unlock it, if that makes sense. Kind of similar to Naruto. You gotta unlock your power. It's all about like coming into grips with yourself. Whereas My Hero is more about you have to pursue your goal and you have to work towards that. Like you gotta earn that. No matter, even though you have your quirk, you gotta work harder to unlock the full potential of your quirk rather than just you have these powers, you gotta like learn more about your inner self kind of thing. It just feels like it feels more physical, more external, less internal battles like other shonen. So it was very interesting dynamics with MHA, which is what drew me in the show. So with that being said, Bakugo really represents the exact opposite of all these characters. Bakugo already has the power. He grew up in a small town. He's a very small, reserved kid. He has the world. Everyone tells him he's the best. You see it in the first episodes where he's like in kindergarten and they're like, oh my gosh, Bakugo's the best. The teacher's like, you have the best quirk, you're gonna be a great hero. And he just showered with praise constantly, this brat, right? And everyone's kind of mad at him. I mean, Deku, this little guy's like following him, like, oh my gosh, I want to be like, you know, Kacchan or All Might, you know, this guy's, he's such an, you know, look at his powers versus I got no quirk at all. And Kacchan's like rubbing it at everyone's faces, and his pride is so big. If he dares messes up and gets saved by someone, he just can't have that. Like he pushes them away constantly, and he's always upset, always angry, and he always feels like he's on top. He feels like he's on top of the world, and I hated that, but I love that about his character. So when things like when he starts growing up and seeing the world differently and people aren't really accepting of him as much, and he's even getting bested by villains, straight up bested, and having to get saved by his childhood friend, that was his wake-up call. I feel like he was really upset, not over the fact that the villain was overpowering him, which is why I don't understand why a lot of people give Kacchan this kind of like, ooh, he should have PTSD spin or whatever. And I know that's ridiculous, but some people like have that spin on him. I don't think it's the villain attack that messed him up. I feel like he could care less. He knew he was going to get saved regardless. It's Kacchan. What messed him up was the fact that Izuku had to help him again. So him like having to experience that and just like, are you kidding me, this kid again, and really like the realization setting in, like, my quirk might not be anything, I might not be that good as everyone made it out to be, but that can't be, you know. He's kind of going through a little bit of a dilemma here. He gets to UA and no one gives a dang about his quirk. They're just like, it's strong or whatever, but he's annoying, right? So coming to that real world realization from that what I call the small town mentality is, this guy, like, he's a small town kid. He just thought he was the best, thought he was the stuff, goes to the big city school, and no one gives a dang about him. Like, okay, your quirk's cool and all, but if your attitude doesn't change, or you're annoying, and just the way you use it is so unwieldy, like, who cares at the end of the day, right? And they're kind of like that with Izuku too. Like, you're cool and all, but the way you use your quirk is super hazardous. But they drift more towards him because he's more chill, he's more relaxed, he's more understanding, you know? Kacchan's just, like, he has control over it, but he's just way too aggressive, way too bombastic. So he's just got that dynamic. So I kind of started off hating him because he's so, even though he's very similar to Izuku in the ways that they both use their quirks in very unwieldy ways and both are very, very passionate about what they like, he's so aggressive, you know? He has that attitude about him. He always got a little, he always got something to say. He's always got a smirk on him. He's always got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and that kind of gives you resentments toward him. Like, I don't want to mess with that. Now, as you start watching, you see Kacchan kind of progress as a character, and I kind of digged that. And the big selling points for me when I really like Kacchan's becoming my favorite character was the tournament arc. He fights Todoroki by the end of the episode with the tournament arc, and you know, Todoroki finally uses his firepower against Deku. He was like, alright, it's time, I'm gonna use this thing, you told me to use it, why not? It is my quirk after all, I gotta learn to utilize all aspects of it, forget about the past, and, you know, hold my own future kind of thing. And I respect that a lot. But then he gets to Kacchan, you know, another fire user, and Kacchan just wants a good fight. He's been mopping the floor with everyone, even Araraka, and the only reason why he liked her, his fight against her, was because, dang, at least she tried. Like, he felt like at least she tried. Like, everyone else he's been fighting is like, I'm either overpowering you because you're free, or or you're not trying on me, right? Like, this isn't real. So he's very, very upset that he's just been breezed through this tournament. So he finally gets to this girl, and he's like, oh gosh, you're actually pretty decent. I like where she's coming from. She's got some spunk, but it's still not good enough for me. So he gets to Todoroki, the best in the class 1, and you know, son of the number second hero. It's like, dang, I'm gonna have a fight, right? And Todoroki's like, nah, I'm gonna throw. He basically throws the match, and Kacchan loses it. My man's is done. And when I saw that, it finally clicked with me why this is becoming my favorite character, because he finally has his chance to prove himself in this sports festival. Just like, sure, he's doing great, but again, if he's overpowering everyone and bonding everyone free, what does that say for the people looking at them? They're just like, okay, those other heroes, like, they have some potential, but this kid's just too powerful, and he's aggressive. I don't know, this looks whatever to me. So the advertisers probably don't really care. A lot of them just see like, I don't know, this Kacchan kid's just super aggressive and super bombastic, and he's just overpowering these kids. Those kids are probably just scared, right, to use their quirks against him because of how aggressive he is, right? So when you get to a fight where he can actually prove himself and actually like, okay, now I can flex my stuff, I can show what I can do, and Todoroki throws and he breaks, I was like, I felt that. I was like, dang, okay, it clicked with me. Like, he's like, I could show off what I have here. I could finally, you know, show that I'm not just this small town kid with big dreams. I'm Kacchan. I could do something. I could be a #1 hero too. And, you know, despite my attitude, despite how I am as a person, like, that ain't gonna change about me. You know, he's a very stubborn person, and he just doesn't get a chance to flex that, and he lost it, and he broke. And I liked that a lot about his character, because it's taking that kind of Sasuke trope and turning it right on its head, and taking that kind of anti-hero trope, but he's like, no, like, some people just have bad attitudes, some people are just very aggressive in manners, some people just have weird mannerisms and all that, and to take that and still say, at the end of the day, I still want to be a hero, I still want to be who I am despite what's going on, I respect that immensely. You don't get that a lot in shonen. So having a character that honestly, legitimately wants to be a hero, but it's just his attitude's different than everyone else's, and the way he goes about himself, and he is not afraid to, you know, still fit in and work with the team and all that. You know, he still got boys, you know, Kirishima, Denki, those types of guys. He still got homies and stuff. It's just his attitude's different than everyone else's. And he's not afraid to flex that. And I love that about his character. I love how he does still have those softer moments, as you guys saw with like the recent Dorm episode where he's like, oh man, I just heard you got night vision goggles to save me. Here's the money. I'd be mad. You know, he's still a little stubborn. He's a little tsundere about it, but I just really liked what he did there, and I really love the way this character's written. Moving on to the next part. He fights against All Might with Izuku, and he does this mainly, he's really upset, first off, because he has to work with Izuku, and he learns through here that sometimes you just gotta let stuff go, and he's very stubborn, and he doesn't really let stuff go, but he's willing to he's willing to become more of a team player here. And that's basically all his mini arc was, and it was basically more just coming to grips like, alright, Izuku might be better than me, maybe, but nah, I'm not gonna let that slide. But I'm still gonna be me. I'm still gonna just, you know, if we gotta work together, we gotta work together. I gotta do what I gotta do, you know. It's like a job to him. Again, he wants to be a hero. He's gotta treat it as such. So he's like, fine, I'll work with this character. I'll work with this Izuku guy. You know, I'll do what I gotta do with this extra. But we taking down All Might at the end of the day. We gotta take down All Might, because again, he's all about proving himself. So when he gets to that realization that you're not gonna take down All Might, and he's getting like literally ragdolled, like picked up and slammed on Izuku, all that crazy mess. He's kind of like, dang, man, I don't know. That kind of stings. Like, how can I become better from this? How can I do better from this? What can I take away? And he kind of just learns that, dang, I just gotta work together with people sometimes, and sometimes I can't just head rush into everything. But he also learns that sometimes you gotta make sacrifices. So there's a lot of parts where it feels like he's kind of suicidal in a sense, where people are just like, oh, he's just charging in there. Now when I say suicidal, I mean like a suicide mission, like he keeps charging into All Might, like, what are you doing, dude? But he's doing it to protect the other guy. He's doing it to protect Izuku. He's doing it because I'm gonna prove myself, one, and two, I'm gonna make sure my teammate doesn't get hurt at all. It's not that he doesn't care about his teammates, it's that he's very prideful. And he's very arrogant in that same regard. So he's like, no, Izuku can't do it, but I can. I got that juice. I got what it takes. And even when we work together, Izuku could just dip out of here, and I'm gonna just keep taking on All Might. And then he gets bodied, and Izuku has to come and save him. Like, oh gosh darn it, you know. So, and Kacchan just kind of like, I had him, man. Like, why'd you even do that? And he just kind of walks away, you know, that kind of thing. So I really like what they do there with this character. And I like just showing him getting gradually frustrated with Izuku as time goes on. As it's just either he's saving him, it's his new quirk all of a sudden, it's his the way he's been working on his new quirk. Like, he sees this 5% and he's like, gosh darn it, he's not breaking himself now. Like, what's next? What is Izuku gonna do next? Like, really? And then we get to the big one where he gets kidnapped again at, in the forest. He gets kind of bodied, and the villains are like, oh, this is super easy. And it's very what I really love about this part is it kind of calls out the audience. The forest arc, what happens is Kacchan gets kidnapped by these villains, and they're all like, okay, he's super aggressive, your power deserves to be with us, you can be as unwieldy as you want, you can take down whoever you want, you could just join the League of Villains, right? And Kacchan's like, you guys are stupid, right? And the audience is probably like, I mean, that makes sense. Everyone's thinking this is such a good, you know, trope, such a good arc. Oh my gosh, but it's very tropey for that character to come over. So had this been any other shonen, Kacchan would have been on the League of Villains by now. But it's Kacchan we're talking about. He still wants to be a hero. He's just a very confused, loud, angry teenager, you know? So he gets there and he's just like, no, you guys are stupid. Like, All Might's gonna save me, someone's gonna come, and you guys are all gonna look stupid and get kidnapped. Or, you know, kidnapped or thrown in jail or whatever. And he's just very like, you're not controlling me. Like, I'm still a hero. I'm just different than every other hero. But I'm still gonna be number one. And to see him, like, kind of lash out and say that and understand what's going on is very good to me. It's just very unique to me because again, most shonens would have just had him convert to the villain side for a little bit and just do whatever, and then come back to the hero side or something like around that nature. But he's like, no, like you could still be a hero and still be yourself. You don't have to suddenly change your ways and try to change your attitude and do things that fit the societies. Like, no, the way you guys want to try to paint things is stupid. Like, you guys talking about society this, society that, but here you are talking about me thinking I'm part of your society just because of the way I act. Like, that makes no sense. So it's kind of a call out both to the audience and to the League of Villains, which I really liked there. He kind of after that beats himself up quite the bit. Not too much about the fight with All Might, and he's just kind of like that's my fault if I didn't get kidnapped, if I was just stronger, you know, that kind of thing. So again, it's adding on and adding on. So good stuff all the way through about Kacchan's character. So here we go to the final part. This is my favorite, Deku versus Kacchan. Now before we get to that, let me just kind of give you guys a quick rundown of everything Kacchan's been through, and keep in mind all of his frustrations that's been building up, like, since childhood, right? Because it's anime, right? People hold on to, I mean, even in real life, people hold on to stuff for a really long time. So Kacchan got saved by Izuku multiple times, both in UA, both as children, has been bested by him straight up during training, has been kidnapped by villains before, has been almost killed by villains before. He feels like his quirk still isn't there. He hasn't had a chance to fully prove himself even during his training exercises on with the provisional licenses and all that during like the Hosu City arc with Stain and all that. So even when they were training with other pro heroes, he still never really had that chance to prove himself. You know, he felt kind of like restricted because he just felt like, again, like, why is everyone trying to reform me? Like, I'm just me. Like, this is just how I am. That kind of thing. He's been constantly bested. He's kind of been on the lockdown because of his house arrest thing during this time too, before he gets to the dorms. So he just feels like he's trapped, both in himself, in his body, and his like, and his quirk is trapped. Like, it can't unlock that potential. He feels like, dang, like maybe I'm just should be this small town kid. Maybe I'm not cut out for this hero stuff. Like, I want to be number one, but can I really be number one? And then after the Izuku and All Might call out, where All Might points to the screen and calls out Izuku's like, hey man, you're next, gotta watch out, these villains are gonna be coming for you, gotta fight one of these guys next. And Kacchan's just like, dang, you know what, I get it, I know where your quirk's from, I know what's going on here, you didn't even earn that power, you know, he doesn't really like know how Izuku got it yet, but he's like, you didn't earn that, you just got that, you got All Might's quirk. Like, why did he choose you of all people versus like me or, you know, someone like that? Like, he's really upset. So they're gonna meet up in the dorms here, and he has all this frustration. He just lays it on Izuku. He's like, no, you don't deserve this power, you don't deserve this quirk, I see you're breaking yourself, you don't deserve this, you're constantly trying to be like that guy that saves people, like sometimes you're gonna get yourself killed, you're stupid. Like, he just goes off. He's like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of feeling like I'm not, you know, kind of self-projects a little bit. Like, I'm tired of feeling like I'm nothing. I need to be better. And we're fighting right here, right now. We're throwing hands. And Izuku's like, hey man, we could talk about this. And Kacchan's like, shut up. And they start throwing hands. And they trade some dialogue back and forth. But that fight, as you guys will hopefully see, that changed me, man. Like, just the way they go about it, the way they write this, the character dynamics between the two, the way Kacchan just kind of breaks and again snaps, is just like, I've had enough. And when All Might comes out and is like, alright, I'm sorry guys, this is technically my fault because I could have told him multiple times and all that, Kacchan just brushes everything off. Is like, I don't care, man, like, I'm just gonna keep doing me. And you just really see how broken Kacchan, or beat up and broken Kacchan has from all the stuff he's been experiencing. And he just kind of, he's either masking it, whether he's self-projecting, we don't know yet. That's probably gonna get revealed later. But yeah, that's why I love this character so much. It's because he's very multi-layered. A lot of characters in the show, you could say, oh well, there's other characters multi-layered too, like Todoroki and Ida and all that. But nah, like, I can't, as good good characters as they are, except for Ida, I hate that character, don't at me. as good those characters as they are, it's just nothing tops how I feel about Kacchan. I just love his character a lot. I love the way he's multi-layered. I love the stuff he goes through, how he's projecting that, how he still has those softer moments, and they do this constantly and project that and just really show that some heroes aren't all going to be from the same cloth, you know? Everyone has their own personality, and they show that with Endeavor too, which I won't get into because that's way too far manga spoilers, but they show that a lot. Even Endeavor, who's like really messed up, he's like really bad person, he's mean, but I like what they do with this character. I'm loving how they're writing everything, and it's good stuff, man. And Kacchan just is another form of that. Like, I love how they wrote this character. They took like the typical school bully, but they actually fleshed him out. And sure, a lot of animes do stuff like this, but I haven't really seen it to this capacity. One, because it's more of a Shonen Jump manga, and usually they're very like weak when it comes to their writing, when it comes to side characters and stuff like this. But MHA just has a knack for making stuff just work really well, and thankfully Kacchan is one of those characters. So yeah, that's how Kacchan went from my least favorite character to my favorite character, through his multi-layered personality. His quirk usage is just super creative. His creativity, just the way he uses everything, his ability to work with people, just all of that, and just like seeing him come into his own, and still seeing him come into his own, is just fantastic to me, and I love watching this character grow. Honestly, if MHA was just about Kacchan, I'd be perfectly fine with that. I really wish that was kind of the route they took. And if you watch my earlier video, the My Hero Obscure History, you can kind of see they're trying to do that maybe a little bit with the one-shot, because Jack Midoriya has a lot of those traits. But anyways, yeah, thank you all for coming out to this video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. This was a bit lengthy, but gosh darn, I love talking about Kacchan. He's my favorite character, dude. And I hope you guys enjoyed everything. I will see you guys next time. Peace.